And welcome back, Rio Grande Guardian viewers. It's great to be back again with you. And as always, we always have a very special guest. Today, I'm very pleased to bring you Mark Lewis, President of Edwards Abstract and Title Company. Mark, great to see you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, great to be here. Appreciate y'all.
So, why are we here today? In part because your father, the legendary Byron J. Lewis, made the headlines at the recent State of the RGV Real Estate Forum, which your company's run for years and years and years,
Yes,
when he announced from the stage, you're taking over as president
Yes, sir.
of this company.
Yeah, very excited. Yeah.
So how are you settling into your new role?
Good, man. Yeah, it's different, but in a good way. And it's a great company. It's a great spot to step into. And, the people make a company, and it's a great company. So,
Your staff are treating you well?
yes, sir. They are, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, they're the best, yeah.
How big is the company in terms of employees?
75.
75.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
One of the biggest in the valley?
The biggest in the valley.
biggest?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got 8 locations spread throughout in Hidalgo and Cameron counties.
Let's get that out on the record, the biggest title company in the valley.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's
Good.
right. Yeah.
So I'm going to pick up a headline, and you're aware of this, from a magazine from December 2023.
I think, yeah.
So the headline, the lead story, the inspiring tale of Byron J. Lewis, his resilience and leadership from grassroots to legal and real estate mastery.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. He's a legend, and it's hard to fill those shoes, but he was chamber president, Rotary president. He's on the Texas Land Title Association board. He's a board certified attorney. He's been involved in so much, throughout the community. And so it's cool how that led him into this industry. And yeah.
So in the industry, not just in the Rio Grande Valley, but statewide, he's well known.
Yeah, I would say, yes, sir. Yeah, he's from Houston, born and raised in Houston, and came back down. I think it was right before I was born, in the 90s or late 80s. Yeah, I think it was 86 exactly.
If you will, tell us about the history of Edwards Abstract. What's its geographical spread, and what, if anything, sets your company apart as compared to others in the market?
Yeah, for sure. Great question. So Edwards Abstract has a simple and a long history. So Judge James Henry Edwards in 1880 founded it in Hidalgo and Starr counties. And the first title insurance company ever was in 1876, So, we're the second oldest title company in the state of Texas. Yeah, so we're super proud of that. And so in 1880, he founded it. He would go through the Spanish land grants and try to find the missing heirs. He would go back and forth between Mexico to try and source that out and build the property records. And so it's really cool that history, and that it's still around today, And in 1926, he passed, and then it went to his wife and his 2 children. And Cecil was the main one that ran it. And so he ran it until the 80s. So it was 1986, I believe, is when he sold it to Jesse Hedrick. So the company was in the Edwards family for 100 years, which is pretty cool. And so people always ask, where does Edwards come from? Well, that's where it comes from, that legacy right there. Yeah.
And because you're in the business of keeping records, that's what you do, you probably can go into the archives and see a lot of the correspondence of Mr. Edwards and when he first started.
Exactly, yes, sir. Yeah. So my dad was just clearing out his office recently and showed me some awesome pieces of some letters from, the 1920s back and forth, and it's just really cool to see. And we actually donated that to the Museum of South Texas History, which I'm a board member of. Byron was a past board member on.
They must be so pleased.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so it's a win-win because we're preserving that history, and it's in better hands, with them to preserve it. But yeah, so he sold it. Cecil sold it to Jesse Hedrick, who was a legend in his own right, and Jesse expanded to McAllen. It had one location in Edinburgh. He expanded it to McAllen. And then he fell ill And in 2001, my father, Byron, purchased the company from him. And then from there, he expanded it to our 8 locations and into Cameron County as well. And, this building in '07 built as well, our corporate headquarters in Edinburgh.
Which everyone loves.
Yeah.
The architecture of.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's very unique. Yeah, so it's cool to work here and have trainings here. And yeah, it's very much.
So if you're the second oldest, do you know who it happened?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's Gracie Title, which is now Stewart Title. They merged into Stewart Title. But yeah, they were 1876 or we're 1880. Yes,
1880. Wow.
Yeah. So
That's 145 years
145 years, yes, sir. Yeah, it's our 145th this year. Yeah.
Fantastic.
We're in Edinburgh, McAllen, Mission, Brownsville, Weslaco, Harlingen, SPI. So we're spread out.
And well accepted in Cameron County?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
When did you spread into there?
Cameron County was, I think, 2010. Southern Texas Title is how that acquisition happened. Yeah, it started in '08, but Edwards Abstract acquired Security Land Title, and then shortly after that, Southern Texas Title. Yeah.
So one of my questions was, is there anything that sets your company apart, or are all title companies the same?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Yeah, because we all charge the same, and that question comes because not everybody knows what title insurance is. But I think the people and the processes set us apart. The average tenure is 15 years, and this is a business with high turnover. So people are coming and going every 2 years, on average. And so we're able to keep people, 15 years on average. We have some people here that have been here 40 years. I mean, it's really awesome. It's been their career, their whole life. So you have a good mix of like the new people coming on board, trying to, learn, with the experienced people to be there to back them up. And it's a really good mix. But the people is one, experienced, good people, which matters in this industry. And then the processes, we're typically the first. We're the first to bring electronic closings to the Valley. And that was in 2019. Yeah. And so
as recently as that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So 100% electronic, buyer, seller, everybody can sign online, which came in handy when COVID came around, of course.
I can imagine.
Yep, yes, sir. And then, fraud's always rampant. And so we were the first to bring a wire fraud security system down here as well. And so that's just, we've been around a long time, but we don't want to be known as the old complacent company. We want to be continuously thinking of ways to get better, bring value to the customers. And
those the sort of examples to show people this is how we're ahead of the curve and keeping up with
exactly. Yes,
industry standards.
Exactly. Yep. We're looking at the industry standards. We're looking at trends. We're looking at different things that can come up. And Edwards has examined and insured most of the land in the Rio Grande Valley. So it's our records. They go way back. We're experienced in them. Our people know how to go through them. We're not outsourcing.
I would imagine that there's a book there somewhere, a history of your company would have some great chapters in it.
Yeah. Yes,
with all the land deals.
Yeah, we have our card plant here. We can go all the way back to sovereignty, and but just going through the cards and seeing, the connections to the property and the community. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've answered that well, to say what sets you apart. The customers go to you because, like you say, you've got employees that have been here for a long, long time. So there's that continuity and experience, and your reputation.
Yes, sir.
Goes before you. So well established that you probably are the first choice.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah. And, your reputation is what people say when you're not around. And, we want to be the company that does the right thing. And
So a related question, therefore, tell us about your company's philanthropic endeavors, because I know you're deeply rooted in the community.
Yeah, for sure. So we spend on average, I was just looking at the number, around $200,000 in nonprofit support each year. And so, animal welfare, museums, art, history, Boys and Girls Club, things like that. We're always out there supporting. And recently we did a tree planting with Keep McAllen Beautiful. So we, for every 100 e-closings, we'll plant a tree. And we started that a couple of years ago. And so we planted 5 trees in a park that needs it. And employees came out, about almost 30 people came out, 20 of our employees and their spouses and children, and we planted some trees together.
And that's on a city park?
Yes, sir. Yep, that's City of McAllen. They identify one of their parks that is missing on trees and needs some touching up. So it's always a different park each year.
Yeah. So the city's got to be happy with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Even though maybe technically you're in Edinburgh here?
Yeah, this is Edinburgh. Yes, sir. Yeah. So we're always looking for stuff like that to do and to support. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's move on to your State of the Real Estate Forum, which is a fixture on the calendar every year. Tell us about the history of that. When did you start that, and why is that important? I mean, it certainly brings the real estate community together under one roof at least once a year.
Yeah, well said. I mean, every time we have it, I almost forget how amazing it is. It's like the event to be at for real estate professionals. I mean, you got financial people, lenders, realtors, investors, all under the same roof, like you said. And it's our we've done it 21 years. This was the 21st year. And, economist Dr. Ted Jones comes down, and, he's a character and he's really bright. And he's
a big draw.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. He makes, what some could consider a bland subject, makes it, kind of interesting to get into that. But he does his economist thing. He examines the trends, and he's right about 95% of the time. It's hard to predict the future, but he can get real close monitoring those trends. And he'll speak to everybody on it. And we also do the event in partnership with Stewart Title, one of our old underwriters, and they've been around a long time. They're celebrating 130 years. So almost as old as us. So
would it have been Byron that started the State of the Real Estate?
Yeah, it was Byron in connection with Elva Jackson Garza.
Of course, Elva.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Our marketing manager. It's a great event, yeah, for sure.
So I know you had a sort of a speaking role, and you were on the stage for part of it, but were you able to sit and watch it all, especially Ted Jones?
Yes, sir.
And learn enough to be able to tell us today, what is the state of RGV real estate? What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, for sure. The Valley is a good place to be, and it's kind of insulated from the rest, from the rest of the state. And I still think it's a strong place to be. It's all the development over here, I think, points to that. And all the competition coming into the area signals that, people want to be here, invest here, live here, retire here.
So if anyone wanted to check the barometer of the Valley, they could do worse than just picking up the phone, calling you.
Yep.
You would know, your fingers on the pulse for all the developments coming into our region.
Yeah.
In some way, eventually you're going to get involved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anytime a new development's going up, we want to know, who's doing it, who are they closing with. We want to know all those details. We track all the business. We'll pull all the recorded documents. And so it's a relationship-driven business, on top of the quality of the work product. Yeah.
I'm a reporter, so I've got to ask this: do you ever release those documents, that market analysis? Do you ever share that as a publication?
Well, no, we just internally for our own records.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
That's a shame.
We try to keep
fascinating.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So it's. But I mean, since I grew up here. I was born and raised in Edinburgh, but I mean, now I've become that person where I'm like that. All these fields are turning into subdivisions and commercial plazas, and it's crazy to see.
We hear that from the mayor all the time. These latest reports he's got of just how many new subdivisions are being built.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So you live here, you're seeing it.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. So I. Born and raised in Edinburgh. I moved to San Antonio, went to college there, met my wife. I worked there for Stewart Title for 5 years, and then I came back down in 2019.
So Mark, those are all the questions I had, but I'm sure I've missed something out. Is there anything else you'd like to add, either about yourself or your company or the state of the industry here?
Yeah, no, I'm just very excited to, I think I said it at the State of Real Estate, but excited to be in the Rio Grande Valley at this time, excited to be in the position I am in this company at this time. And as you said, people have a lot of choices when it comes to a title company. We want to be the choice for them, so.
Yeah, and the way the Valley's growing, and I would say this, at your age, you're going to just see
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of changes.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, Mark, thank you so much. We've really enjoyed it. We've learned a lot. I appreciate you giving us the time today.
Yeah. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, sir.